is your most important skill as a college student. To help you with time management, here's some things you can do using Outlook. So if you go to outlook.live.com and log in with your Eagle account, I'm using my old student account to show you what it looks like. There's a calendar button at the bottom, and you can adjust the weeks that you're looking at with the arrows at the top here. You can also use the drop down there. You can also view for month and day and other options there. One important thing to do is go to the gear icon and double check your settings. You can enable dark mode, desktop notifications. Really important to make sure your time zone is correct. You can customize the format if you want to. You might want to show in 15-minute increments. I would recommend that actually. And Outlook can also show you the weather, so you can change the location that it's showing you. So that impacts your day. And we can delete Redmond, Washington, which is Microsoft's headquarters. That's why that is there by default. Now, you can add events by just clicking into a time slot. I recommend you add an event for every one of your classes. You might want to put the classroom location right in the event title. That way it's visible to you at a glance as soon as a notification pops up, or if you view it on the phone. If you have an online class, obviously you don't need that. You could put it in the room or location field as well, but that just might make it a little bit less quick to find. And you want to set it to repeat. This is one of the benefits of an electronic calendar, is it's really easy to add recurring events. You want to look at the academic calendar to see the last day of classes and any holidays, so you could individually delete those class meetings. This is just the web app. You could use the full desktop version of Outlook as well. The interface is relatively similar. There's a little calendar icon at the bottom left. There's different views available. You can advance through the different weeks with the arrows at the top. You can add an appointment by clicking in the time slot or by clicking the new appointment button. I'll just add one more of my classes. You should add every one of your class meetings for any classes that meet face-to-face or have synchronous meeting times. Add them to your calendar as recurring events. And I forgot to make this one recurring, but if I just double click it, it brings up the calendar tools, it brings up the appointment itself, and I can click on the recurrence icon. And this one is just a once a week class, so I will set it to be every Wednesday until the last day of the semester. And again, I would go in and for any holidays or whatever and delete the individual events. Real important though, besides class meetings, you want to also add study time for your classes. This is where students tend to run into trouble, is that they don't account for how much time they need to study for each class. Federal guidelines are for 2 to 3 hours outside of class for every hour inside of class, depending on the semester and the modality. Basically, for a full semester, you want 6 to 9 hours additionally to study. Right? So that doesn't count in class meeting times. So if I'm going to schedule an hour and a half, I would need to do that probably around 5 times a week. Right? It might take you a little bit less some weeks, might take you a little bit more some weeks. Some classes might come easier to you, some classes might require more time, but at least schedule 6 to 9 hours per class per week. You can kind of gauge what you need to do for your classes by integrating your Canvas calendar with your Outlook calendar. So if you go to the calendar menu in Canvas, scroll to the bottom on the right, grab that calendar feed, triple click it, copy it, go back into Outlook, do add calendar from internet, and paste that link. You only need to do this one time for your whole time at FGCU. This will sync your Canvas calendar, which automatically creates calendar entries for every assignment you have in every class. Now that'll show up in Outlook. It'll show up as a separate calendar, or you can click this little arrow icon up at the top to combine them. It might take a while to receive all of the calendar events. It might not pop in right away, but make sure I advance to when I have Canvas calendar events, which is starting next week. And now I see my calendar events. This is a read-only or view-only look at that Canvas calendar, but you can use that to figure out what you need to do during your study time or to create a task. So I know I have this discussion assignment due, so I'm going to add a task to actually do that discussion assignment before the due date, right? So you want to set the due date in your tasks, and then you're going to be able to view your tasks as a to-do list or various other views of your tasks. Another option is to modify your individual study time to say what assignments you're going to work on. All right, so you know you're going to reserve that time every day, but what are you actually going to do? You go in and customize it individually or repeating. All right. One more thing in Outlook I want to show you is how to use the appointment scheduler to schedule a time with somebody else. So I'm going to put in my other Eagle or my non-Eagle account, my regular FGCU account, and show you how you can see when that calendar has events on it using the scheduling assistant. So you can figure out what time other people are available if you want to make a study group, for example. You send that appointment to the person, and I will show you my other calendar. It appears on my calendar, my Eagle account calendar, but on my other calendar, it's not there right now. It is the right date, but it might pop in after a couple seconds. It shows up on that other calendar, and it's just a suggestion. You can choose whether or not you want to accept it. If you accept it, you let the other person know, then it does appear as an event on your calendar.